nervous. Okay, my name is Cree Taylor, and I am a senior lecturer in the English department, recently promoted. I also serve, thank you. I also serve as the Associate Dean for Inclusive Excellence and Belonging in the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, and my talk title is long, Developing a Learning Community to Promote and Encourage Critical Thinking and Constructive Discourse in the Classroom. So we're currently in a time where the value of a university education is being consistently challenged. And we know that university education is a chance for our students to gain this liberal understanding of the world. And we want students in our classes to learn how to interact with multiple ideas and conflicting ideas, even those that they don't agree with all of the time. But we also have, like, is college even worth it? So I started to wonder, how can we develop a classroom space where students and instructors have the courage to speak up and the humility to have their views critiqued and challenged? And can there be a classroom where there is civil discourse, disagreement, and critical thinking without things getting out of control? Because that's all of the fear. And then I realized, as I was asking myself these questions this summer, that I didn't need to spend my time doing a bunch of extra research about teaching, because I already have a lot of these tools in my pedagogy, and I venture to guess that most of you already know what to do already, and you're already doing really great things. So a couple of things to remember, and then I'll give a few ideas about dialogue in the classroom, is that students crave controversy, they crave nuance and discussion. They love reality TV, and all reality TV is people fighting with each other. And that's what our students like. They want to be in settings where they can figure out the controversy and learn how to navigate those things in meaningful ways. Another thing to remember is that students understand the importance of considering multiple perspectives as they form their own opinions on topics. They're aware of the algorithm. They know that their social media is giving them what they want to hear, and they crave this idea to hear what other people have to say and what other people think. They don't want those beliefs pushed on them, but they do want to hear them. Another thing to remember is that there are creative ways to engage students in dialogue, discussion, and critical thinking, and you all know them. And the way that maybe if one method is not working, you have other methods that you can draw from to get students to be more engaged and more active in the classroom. The last thing to remember is that developing a learning community takes intentional work if we want to create spaces where students and teachers come together and learn from each other. I read a book over the summer called Belonging, and it's an amazing book. I would highly recommend it, by Jeffrey L. Cohen, and I'll show it here in a minute. But he talks about the importance of intentionally crafting situations where our students feel like they're part of a learning community. That didn't show up, but that's okay. So we're going to talk about the difference between discussion and dialogue. Discussion, as this would say, it centers the instructor, and it focuses on, like, the students will discuss with you. So you ask the question, the students respond and talk to you only, and they don't really talk to each other, and it's up to the instructor to connect their ideas. In a dialogue situation, the students are talking to each other, and you as an instructor can kind of fall into the background a little bit, and they can navigate it. Maybe you jump in and make a connecting point, but it's them speaking to each other, and it centers them in the conversation. That's what all that text says that you can't see. The other thing is that you do need to debrief at the end of dialogue, so discussion accompanies dialogue. So I want you to already think about the things that you do in your classroom already to establish a learning community, a place where the students come in, they know they're valued, they know they have something to contribute, and they're excited to learn from you. Bell Hooks talks to us about the importance of learning community and vulnerability, and so does Jeffrey L. Cohen in this amazing book. He talks about something that is helpful to help students build community is to have them think about their value system. The things that they and their peers value can be similar, even if they're approaching the controversy about those values in different ways. So one thing that I did, and I do this every summer, is I made a massive change to one of my classes, and I'm doing a values affirmation essay for my English 2010 students. And this is an opportunity that they can explore those values, but also recognize that people in the class who are different from them still share similar values. So, a couple of things, activities that you can think about to do to encourage dialogue over discussion in the classroom. The first one is a fishbowl conversation. This is one where you have an inner circle and an outer circle. In the inner circle, the students are talking about maybe pre-given questions, and in the outer circle, those students are listening and taking notes. And then they kind of rotate into the inner circle at different points during the class. The other thing I like to do is frame writing responses as ooh, ah, ouch. So ooh is something they heard that was really interesting from the reading that they'd never thought about before, like, ooh, I've never heard that idea. Ah is like, it's confirmation. Ah, I knew it. And then ouch is, oh, I feel like I'm being attacked by that thing. And then we're able to have that dialogue and conversation in class as well. The other one I like to do is speed dialogue. It's a lot like speed dating. I'll give them 1 minute in class to talk to each other about a topic, and then I switch them. And they're talking the whole time, and all I do is maybe give them a new prompt if I hear the conversation dying, or I push the conversation to the next person. The last one that I tried this last semester in my race and ethnicity class was this cafe-style dialogue. So I had 4 different settings in the classroom, and they each had a topic. And then the students could go from table to table and sit down and talk about what they wanted to talk about, and they could move on to the next one. Again, at the end of all of these, you do have to have a discussion. And these are some things that I really like to think about when it comes to discussion for me as the discussion leader to encourage more feedback. The one I'm going to point to, the biggest one, is last word. I have found that students feel so empowered when I give them the last word. So I'll be like, you've got it. We've got 2 minutes left. What's your comment? Make it good. And they feel scared, but then they do it. And then I go, great, thanks for being here today. Let's go. I don't always have to be the one that ties up all the loose ends. So the point, students need to practice engaging in difficult conversations, and they want to. And instructors and students can work together to be brave, to challenge opinions respectfully, and to ensure that many different voices are heard. So my question for the group is to consider your own classroom. What can you do on purpose to cultivate a positive learning community where students engage in conversations with each other? Thanks.